Hello, good morning, my dear student. How are you all? Hope you are keeping well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also well. My dear student, we are passing the crucial moment because the whole world has been infected with COVID-19 coronavirus now. Due to this, all the schools in our country are closed now. So, our government has taken decision to continue study for the student. And I hope that you should prepare yourself for the future. And as a teacher, today I will discuss about voice change of imperative sentence. Okay, my dear students, I hope you will enjoy the class with full attention. Okay, my dear students, now I am going to start my class. Follow the blackboard, please. Voice change of imperative sentence. Voice change of imperative sentence. Okay, my dear students, some rules and some technique and some way I will apply today. Okay, I hope you will enjoy the class with full attention. Okay, now voice change of imperative sentence. At first, number one, if the imperative sentence start with verb. If the imperative sentence start with verb. Okay? My dear students, number one, start with verb. If the imperative sentence start with verb, structure will be at first let plus object plus be plus V3. That is V3 means past participle form of verb. Past participle form of verb. Okay, my dear students, when we will see the imperative sentence start with verb in the passive voice, in the active voice, and when we will change into passive voice, this structure will be at first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb. Okay, my dear students, for example, that means start with verb. Example, do the work. This is active. Do the work. At first start with verb, that is do here. Do is a verb here. So this kind of sentence start with do, and this is imperative sentence. And when we will change it to passive voice, I think that it's active voice. When we will change it to passive voice, at first let, then object. Object here is the work. Okay, my dear students, object here is the work. Let the work, then as a rule be. According to rules here, at first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb here, then do will be done. Okay, it's one kind of example here. Do the work, start with verb, this kind of sentence, and this is active voice, and the passive voice will be, that is at first let according to rules, then object the work, then according to rules be, and then the past participle form of verb, that means done here. Okay. Another example. Open the door. Okay, my dear students, follow the blackboard please. At first, open here. Open is a verb, and this kind of sentence start with verb, and this kind of sentence is imperative sentence. Okay, and this is active voice, and structure, that means at first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb. So here at first let, when you will see, that means at first verb, and when you will change into passive voice, you at first without hesitation you have to use their let, then the object door here, let the door be opened. Okay, my dear students, another example I will show here. That means open the door, that means post the letter here, post the letter. Okay, my dear students, it's another example. Post the letter. Post here is verb, and this kind of sentence is imperative sentence, start with verb, and this is active voice. But when we will change into passive voice, at first let. When you will see at first verb in the active voice, when you will change into passive voice, you have to use there at first let, then the object, the letter. Let the letter be according to rules here. Let the letter be posted. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have understood it clearly. Okay, thank you so much. Then start with, my dear students, another rule. The rule 2 of imperative sentence in the passive voice here. That means the voice sense. When we will change when we will change imperative sentence active into passive. So at first already I have discussed. Start with verb. How can we change passive voice? This kind of structure already has I have finished. Okay, now start with do not or don't. Do not or don't. My dear students, this is another rule. When we see, or if we see the imperative sentence start with do not in the active voice. When if we see imperative sentence start with do not in the active voice, when we will change into passive voice according to rules. That means when the imperative sentence start with do not, the structure will be in the passive voice. For the passive voice, the structure will be at first let, then not, then object, then be, then V3. Okay, my dear students, it's the structure. That means when if we see, that means if we see the imperative sentence start with do not in the active voice, and when we will change into passive voice, at first you have to use their let, then not, then you have to use object, then be, and then you have to use the past participle form of verb. Okay, my dear students, now I will give some examples here. Okay, follow the blackboard please. Do not open the door. Okay, my dear students, do not open the door. So here is don't. Don't or do not. Don't open the door or don't are the same. Do not open the door here. And this kind of sentence is active voice and it is imperative sentence. Start with do not here. Okay. So in the passive voice, according to rules here, at first let, then not, let not. Okay, my dear students. When you will see do not in the active voice, when you will change into passive voice, you have to use, instead of do not, you have to use their let not. Okay, my dear students, let not. Then once again, object the door. Let not the door be according to rules. Then open, here is open, the past participle form of verb. Opened. Let not the door be opened. Okay, my dear students. Then another example I will give here. Don't laugh. Don't laugh at the poor. Okay, my dear students. Here is another example. Already I will show here. That means don't laugh here. Don't laugh at the poor. Okay. So according to rules, when you will see that means don't, this kind of sentence start with do not, and this kind of sentence is imperative sentence, and this is active voice. And now we will change it passive voice. And at first we have to use let not. Let not, then object. Let not the poor. According to rules, that means be here. Let not the poor be laughed. There is laughed at. Laughed at. Okay, my dear students. Once again, don't, let not. Then object here is the poor. Let not the poor be according to rules here. Laughed. Here is past participle form is laughed at. Okay? Clear? Thank you. Okay, now I am going to teach you another rule. Okay, my dear students? Number 3. Start with let plus personal object, that means me, him, her, you, them, etc. Okay, my dear students, follow the blackboard please. Here is another rule here. When or if we see the imperative sentence start with let plus personal object, let plus personal object, that means me, him, her, you, them, etc. And structure will be at first let plus object plus according to rules, that means be, then past participle form of verb, then by plus personal object. Okay, my dear students, it's very easy and simple. Follow the blackboard please. If we see the imperative sentence start with let plus personal object, that means me, him, her, you, them, etc. Structure will be the passive voice. At first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb, then by plus personal object. Okay? So now I will give some example here. At first, let me do it. Okay, my dear students, let me do it. Follow the blackboard please here. At first let, then the personal object me here. So this is imperative sentence and start with let plus personal object. And this is active voice. But now we'll change it passive voice. So according to rules here, at first let, then object here it. Let it, then be, according to rules. Let it be, then B3, that means past participle form of verb, past participle form verb. Here, do here is done. Let it be done. Then by, according to rules. Then personal object here is me. Me. Okay, my dear students. Let me do it. According to rules, in the passive voice, at first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb, then by, then me. Okay, my dear students? Another example I will show here. Then let him play cricket. Okay, my dear students, it's another example here. Already I have applied. Let him play cricket. At first let, then object here. The personal object him here. So according to rules, at first let, okay, then object here is cricket. Let cricket, then according to rules be, let cricket be, play, here is played. Let cricket be played. Play, the present form, in the active voice, the passive voice, past participle form. Once again I want to say that in the passive voice, always the main verb or principal verb always will be past participle form. Okay, my dear students, always the principal verb or main verb always past participle form in the passive voice. Okay, my dear students, so here is let cricket be played by him. Okay, my dear students, already I have finished the another rules with example. I hope you have understood it clearly. Okay, my dear students, then thank you so much. Now now I will discuss another rule. Okay, start with imperative sentence. Start with main verb. Main verb plus personal object. Okay, my students, another rule. Start with main verb, main verb plus personal object me, him, her, you, them, etc. So structure will be here. Only change, instead of by you have to use for. Okay, my dear students, you have to use for. Be carefully. That means follow the blackboard. If we see the imperative sentence, start with main verb plus personal object, that means me, him, her, you, them, etc. In the passive voice, that means in the active voice, and when we will change into passive voice, the structure will be at first let, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb, then for, then personal object. Clear, my dear students? Then, for example, I will show here. That means buy me a shirt. Buy me a shirt. My dear students, here is buy the main verb or principal verb here with personal object me here. Okay, my dear students? So this is imperative sentence. It start with buy. Okay? So structure will be let plus object plus be plus past participle form of verb, then for plus personal object here. So very simple and easy in the passive voice. Now you have to use at first let. Okay, my dear student, let then object according to rules. Okay, let a shirt be. Okay, then past participle form of verb, that means buy here is bought. Okay, buy will be bought. Let a shirt be bought, and it's the turning point here. Not buy, not be, not that means only you have to use here for. Okay, my dear students, when you will see at first the main verb before object in the passive voice, before object you have to use there for. Okay, let a shirt be bought for me. That means personal object here. Let a shirt be bought for me. Okay, my dear students, clear? Another example. The active voice, bring me a book. My dear students, at first bring here is verb, then personal object me here, and this is active voice and this is imperative sentence, and this imperative sentence start with main verb or principal verb. Okay, my dear students, now I will change into passive voice. Okay, my dear students, so obviously you can use at first you have to use at first let you have to use let, then object here is the book, let a book, then be, let a book be brought here. Brought. Bring here is brought. Let a book be brought for me. Okay, my dear students, I hope you have understood it clearly. Thank you so much. My dear students, now I will discuss another rule. If we see the imperative sentence start with never. If the imperative sentence start with never, the structure will be let plus never, then object, then be, then with. My dear students, carefully follow the blackboard please. If we see the imperative sentence start with never in the active voice, and when we will change in the passive voice, the structure will be at first let, then never, then object, then be, then past participle form of verb. So, for example, in the active voice, that means never tell a lie. Okay, my dear students, for the blackboard please, never here, at first never. Start with never, this sentence, and this is imperative sentence. Okay, my dear students, no doubt about that. Okay, now, never tell a lie, here is. So, this is imperative sentence, start with never, and this is active voice. Now, we'll change it passive voice. So at first, when you will see never in the active voice, and when you will change it to passive voice, at first let, then never. Let never, then object here, a lie. Let never a lie, then be here. Let never a lie be told. Okay, my dear students? Never tell a lie, let never a lie be told. Okay? Clear? Now, another rules here. Never hate the poor. Okay, my dear students? Another example. Never hate the poor. For the same, how you will see never, at first let, then never. Okay? Let never, then object the poor. Let never the poor. According to rules, be. Let never the poor be. Then you have to use the past participle from a verb, that is hate. Here is hated. Okay, my dear students, let never the poor be hated. Thank you so much. I hope you have understood it clearly. Thank you so much. Then number 6. Number 6. If the imperative sentence start with always. If the imperative sentence start with always. If the imperative sentence start with always in the active voice, structure will be at first let plus object, be plus past participle from a verb, then always. It will be structure, okay? But once again I want to say that when we see the imperative sentence start with always in the active voice, in the passive voice, when we will change into passive voice, the structure will be at first let, then object, then be, then past participle from a verb, then always. Okay, my dear students? So for example here, always speak the truth. Okay, my dear students? Always speak the truth here. So at first always, so this is active voice and imperative sentence. According to rules in the passive voice, when we will change into passive voice, that means at first let. We have to use let, then object. Let the truth. Okay? Let the truth. Then be. According to rules, let the truth be spoken. Here, speak here is spoken. Spoken. Let the truth be spoken. That means always. Always. Okay, my friends? Always speak the truth. Let the truth be spoken. Always. I hope you have understood. Then, another example. Always book. Always read the book, my dear students. At first always, then read the verb, read the book. And this is active voice, and this sentence is imperative sentence, and this kind of sentence start with always. So according to rules in the passive voice, at first let, in the rules, according to rules, at first let, then object, let the book, then be. Let the book be read here. Let the book be read, past participle form. Let the book be read always. Okay, my dear students, I am sure that you have understood it clearly. Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is last rule of imperative sentence. If we see the imperative sentence, if we see the imperative sentence start with that means requested, that means if we see the imperative sentence, that means start with please, please, that means order, that means no, if the imperative sentence start with please, the structure will be you are requested to plus extension. Okay, my students, you are requested to plus you are requested, you are ordered, requested, or sorry, you are requested, ordered, advised to plus extension. Okay, already when I will apply it, when I will show example, you have I think that you have understood, you will understand here. Okay, my dear students, now for example, when once again I want to say that if the imperative sentence start with please or order, advice or any other things, in the passive voice, when you will change in the passive voice, you are requested, you are ordered, you are advised to plus extension. That means the due to the sentence. Okay, for example, please give me a glass of water. Okay, my dear students, at first please, and this kind of sentence is imperative sentence, start with please, and this is active voice. So according to rules, when we will change into passive voice, that means at first please, here is please, so you are requested, you are requested to give me a glass of water. A glass of water. Okay, my dear students, follow the blog please. When you will see please in the active voice, when you will change into passive voice, you have to use there at first you are requested to. Clear? Then extension here is give me a glass of water. You are requested to give me a glass of water. Okay, my dear students. Okay, thank you. For another rule, another example I will show here. That means in the active, come here. Okay, my dear students, this is active voice. Come here. Start with come, and this is active voice, and this is imperative sentence. But now I will change into passive voice. So at first, come here. So you are requested to come here. You are requested to come here. You are requested to come here. Okay, my dear students. Then another example. Stand up on the bench. Stand up on the bench. Okay, my dear students. So here is stand up on the bench. I think that it is order. Okay. Now you are ordered to stand up on the bench. Okay, my dear students, you are ordered to stand up on the bench. Another example, that means this is last. Go there. Go there. This is imperative sentence. It starts with go here. So we have to use in the passive voice. You have to use at first. You are advised. You are advised to go there. Okay. Advised or ordered. Maybe this kind of sentence, go there. You are advised to go there. Okay, my students. Okay. Once again, thank you so much, my dear students. Already I have finished my class. That means before finished my class, already. For the time being, I would like to finish here. Before finish my class, once again I want to say that I hope you have understood this class clearly, and I hope that you will share this class with your friends or your classmate or any other person. Okay, my dear students, and once again I want to say that, my dear students, I want to say that the whole world has been infected with COVID-19 coronavirus. So it is we are passing the crucial moment. So I advise you, I request you, stay home, stay safe, and save the country. Okay, my dear students. Okay, Allah Hafiz.